Good morning, guys. Welcome to today's live stream. Hope everyone is well. It's Monday the 6th of April, and I think here in the UK this is the 2-week point for being in lockdown. It was 2 weeks ago today that the government announced its lockdown or stricter guidelines of how to behave and live in the current pandemic. Crazy, that 2 weeks, it's kind of weird, it's gone fast, but at the same time it feels like it's been quite slow at the same time. Good morning, everybody. Ollie, I assume that's you, buddy. Welcome to today's live stream. I'm literally like pinching my forearms here to warm up the muscles a little bit. Good morning, Terry, how are you, fella? So, who enjoyed the weekend? Because here in Andover in Hampshire, the weather was just gorgeous. Lots and lots of sun over the weekend, which is quite nice considering we're having to self-isolate. So welcome everybody. If you followed my last couple of posts, you may have seen that today's live stream is all about endurance and basically installing muscle memory into your body, into your subconscious mind. And in the social media posts, I said that we're going to learn a very specific rudiment, which is the paradiddle-diddle. Morning, Lara. How are you? All right. So yeah, this morning we're gonna go hard on a rudiment which is right, left, right, right, left, which is 6 hits. And today it's really just to demonstrate that if you do want to get good at a particular pattern, then you've got to do the time, which neatly brings me to this to your attention. So I've got a 30-minute timer on my iPad, and once we've all done a little bit of a warm-up, then we're gonna just go for it. We're just gonna play for 30 minutes. Morning, Michael. Morning, Ollie. We're just gonna play for 30 minutes, and we're not gonna stop. If we do need to stop, it's only because maybe our body is aching or some part of our body is telling us just to have a little bit of a pause, so don't worry if you do need to pause while doing this. The way I'm probably going to play it is I'm going to start quite soft and slow. Morning! I'm going to start quite soft and slow, and then maybe for like, I don't know, at some point, maybe the last half of this, or maybe the last 10 or 5 minutes, I'll go up to a pace where I want to push myself. So at that point, you're very welcome to sort of just focus on your own 30-minute challenge. Obviously I'll be talking as we go through this, and if you do want to pause, feel free to leave me some comments. It'll give me something to talk about as we're doing this, because this is something that, you know, you don't really need an audience for this kind of thing. This is where you want to lock yourself in your practice room and just do this for as long as possible, as long as you would want to do. Morning, James. Morning. Hope you're well. Mate, you can join in on this. Get yourself some drumsticks. We're just going to play a rhythm for 30 minutes. Easy peasy. And that is it. Like, this does not have to be hard. I'm convinced that building good muscle memory is built on really simple foundations. Kind of like scales for a piano player or a guitarist. For a drummer, our scales are doing particular patterns. Anyway, I'm going to assume that you guys are all nicely warmed up and ready to do this. Might get a little bit warm, so make sure that you're not wearing something like an epically warm jumper, because you're going to get hot over the next 30 minutes. That's why I'm in a vest rather than something a little bit more formal. But yeah, so our rhythm is simply right, left, right, right, left, left. It is 6 notes, so you could view it as a sextuplet, which is 6 hits per beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that would of course be a bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. So hopefully you guys have all done the prep on that. But yeah, without waffling on too much, let's just go for it. So I'm going to set our timer off. You guys can do the same thing, or you can just watch it via mine. And we're just going to play. But like I said, leave some comments if you want to pause. Gives me something to talk about. If not, I'm just going to be talking about junk and talking about anything for the next 30 minutes. And hopefully you'll realise that because I can play this and talk, it has already become muscle memory, which is where I want you guys to be able to get with it. So, timer is going off. So here we go. So I said I'd start soft and slow. And let's see how long 30 minutes really is. It sounds like a long amount of time, but I reckon it'll surprise us. Now, for all of you who are self-isolating, obviously we're not really allowed out anywhere. If you don't have your drum kit on you, you can do this kind of thing anywhere. I quite like sitting down cross-legged and playing it on the carpet. Or I'll sit on the bed and do it because the bed has very little rebound, so I really have to work my hands. Good morning, David. I hope everybody is well on this Monday morning. Like I said, it's the 2-week point for isolation. Hope you're not going crazy. You got enough things to do. The thing is, like, isolating in this day and age is relatively easy because as long as you got internet or you got Wi-Fi, you can still talk to everyone. You can still FaceTime them, video call people. Like literally yesterday morning, I was talking to my grandparents on Skype for our IMAX, and you know, it was quite nice. I got to see them without obviously seeing them physically, or you know, side by side. But I was helping them set up Skype so that they could Skype call my mum, who unfortunately is in a care home. She has Alzheimer's, and she's in a care home where lockdown is very, very strict. They're not letting anyone in or out unless you're obviously a carer there or staff. Morning, David. And so I set my grandparents up with Skype, and what the nurses will do is they'll create a timetable where my family can Skype call one of the nurses so that they can see my mum and making sure she's okay. My mum has severe Alzheimer's, so she may not really know what's going on when we do the Skype calls, but my point is, isolation never felt so connected. Which sounds like an oxymoron right there. So we're already like 2.5 minutes and I already feel quite warm. Maybe because I've got a bit of the sun on me. So obviously you're allowed to pause if you need to, listen to your body whilst doing this. And if you pause, just give your fingers a little bit of a stretch and leave me a comment. Maybe you guys can tell me what you've been up to lately. No, I should have bought a drink up. All this talking for 30 minutes, I'm going to be pretty parched by the end of it. So yeah, we've already done 3 minutes. That's like 10% already done. I've increased my speed a little bit more power. It's quite fun to sit and doing this. I find it like really peaceful. Kind of to me, it's like meditation. I don't really think about much. I definitely don't think about what I'm actually playing with my hands. I can't do that with all rudiments. Some rudiments take a rather large amount of concentration. It'd be interesting to like talk to you guys at the end and see who actually stuck with it for 30 minutes. Or did you give up? Anyway, the point being, you can do this for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. 20 minutes, an hour, if you're feeling really hardcore. The point is, if you do something, if you repeat something long enough or often enough, then your body begins to accept it as a subconscious motion. A little bit like, I don't know, when we wave to someone or when we pick up a knife and fork, brush our teeth. You're not really thinking about doing that anymore, it's become more of a subconscious action. I'm going to rev mine up a bit. And you know, those subconscious actions allow you to build a nice sense of flow behind the drums when you're actually playing more musical stuff. Because I understand, like, I get it, this ain't that musical just to sit and listen to someone do this. But this is like top vitamins for a drummer. Drummer's detox. Now, we've already reached the 5-minute mark, and it's worth bearing in mind that when you're playing this kind of stuff, you do want to listen to your body. So I'm trying my best to keep a nice straight back and try not to just do this. Don't want to be a hunchback. I'm trying to keep a nice straight back. I'm generally trying to look forward. I know I'm occasionally looking sideways, but it's really just to gesture you guys on the camera and look at my TV, which is just to the right of me. And just make sure that you're breathing. You know, in a sense, this is exercise, and doing exercise without breathing never ends well. I used to do so much athletics in my youth, right up until my early 20s, as a sprinter, and the coach kept reminding us that you have to run relaxed. There should be no tension in your body, but you also have to breathe. And I was a 400-meter runner, which is 1 lap around the track. It's a sprint. It's a hardcore sprint. And if you're not breathing while running around the track, which will be, you know, the best part of 45 to 50 seconds, if you're not breathing, then your body is already going into shutdown mode. Ollie says, here's a question. Thinking about grabbing one of those Drumeo multi-pads, ever played one? And hello Dominic, hope you're well my man. Grab your practice pad. As you can see, we're already 6.5 minutes into this. But you can carry on once I've stopped our timer. So back to Ollie's question, thinking about grabbing one of those Drumeo multi-pads, have you ever played one? I'll play a bit softer as I'm addressing the question. So, if you guys don't know what Drumeo is, it stands for Drum Education Online, and if you type in Drumeo on YouTube, you'll come across arguably one of the greatest drum YouTube channels ever, other than my one of course. Sneak. So Drumeo is dedicated to high quality content for drummers, and it can be anything from warming up like this, to pad exercises, to full-on master classes, to play-along classes, to genre-specific classes. It has celebrity drummers on it, and yeah, they're just all-round good guys. They're a Canadian company, and what they did a few years back is they put out a product that looks a little bit like what I'm playing on, which I'm playing on an Evans Real Feel pad. But what it does, it has like layers to it. So mine's hexagonal, so if we just pretend it's hexagonal, it's basically got layers to it. So it has like a little bit at the front, where I'm tapping with my drumsticks. There's like a layer in the middle, which gives you a slightly different feel and a different sound. And I'm now playing at the top of my pad, where they've got 2 extra segments. And the idea is that you create these patterns. So I could move my hands forward for the singles, and then come back for the doubles. Single, single, double, double. So it's basically like a practice pad that's laid out like a very small drum kit. And if I just break the practice pad a minute, I'm going to go up into tom-toms. So the practice pad encourages that kind of thing. So Ollie, have I ever played one? I haven't actually played one, but I can see the uses of them. Just got to make sure that if you're using something like a multi-pad, that you practice often on a drum kit, because it gives you like a full sense of like how far apart stuff is. Even on this E-kit that I'm sat on right now, it's really easy to reach for the tom-toms. I don't really have to do much. On a bigger kit, stuff's usually spread out a little bit more. And in fact, if you look on Drumeo's YouTube page, they recently put out a video based upon everyone in quarantine or in lockdown. It's basically talking about the pros and cons of an electronic kit. And it was Jared who was hosting it, and he was really like eloquent with the way that he was describing it all. He said, you know, electronic kits are like really good tools for practicing with and even performing with. You know, they're ultra convenient. They are a little bit noise friendly if you've got like neighbours who can hear your drumming. But then he basically talked about the things to watch out for when you convert yourself to an acoustic kit. So welcome Pablo. Feel free to join. So can you see that, guys? We're about to hit the 10-minute mark. There we go. So we've got 20 minutes left. For those who have just joined in on the live stream, I've got a bunch of you watching right now. I'm going to slow mine right down. The idea is to play a rudiment, which is right, left, right, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, left. The rudiment's in the description on this stream, but the idea is to play this for 30 minutes without pausing. And even I just slowed down then. It's not, I didn't stop. So, Ollie says, what's the best practice pad in your opinion? That's from Oliver Armour, or Georgina Armour. What's the best practice pad in your opinion? It's the one you're used to. And then find one you're not used to and get good at it. So I'm using something called the Evans Real Feel. Evans and then Real, R-E-A-L. Feel, F-E-E-L. The Evans Real Feel. I think they're like about 15 quid or so. I absolutely love mine. Like, I'm a big Evans fan anyway. I endorse Evans drum heads, drum pads. So yeah, I really dig these ones. Some other good ones like Vater put out good ones, or Vater, it's V-A-T-E-R. It's a big yellow dot. They're pretty nice. They feel quite spongy. Other ones, obviously, you could look at the Drumeo multi-pad. There's some really cool ones that are like tiny. And because they're so small, you have to be like super accurate. Okay, I'm going to back mine off a bit again. Got a bit excited there. But yeah, like practice on different surfaces. Carpet is one I mentioned a minute ago, because the rebound isn't very strong. A pillow, even more for that reason. The rebound is very weak, so you happen to use a lot of your fingers. What else have we got? Something I like to do, especially if I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking and waiting for food to cook. Whoops, nearly dropped my stick then. What I like to do is put a towel on the kitchen counter, just fold it a few times, and just play for a little bit while my food is cooking. So, you know, if you've got something cooking for like 10 minutes, pull out a rudiment and play it for 10 minutes. Try and integrate it into your everyday life. Good morning, Philip. Thanks for joining us again. Let's slow it right down for the people who have just joined the live stream. So we've got a 30-minute timer on. You can see we're nearly at the halfway point. And we're simply repeating right, left, right, right, left, left. So at this point, you might begin to feel a little bit of the burn, like when you've gone running for 10 minutes, body feels warm, beginning to breathe a little bit heavier, maybe wanting to stop and walk for a little bit. So if you do need to pause, it's absolutely okay, especially if your hands are aching. This kind of thing isn't designed to injure you. So for me personally, my left hand feels a little bit tense. But I'm not surprised, I've been playing it for like 14 minutes. But it doesn't hurt, I can just feel it, I can feel it's working. Now what I was going to say is that you might realise by now that right, left, right, right, left, left, it still features 3 right hands and 3 left hands. So I'll play a bit quieter so you can hear me better. It still features 3 right hands and 3 left hands. But it's always leading with the right hand. And I'll show you this by adding an accent. Ollie says you've nearly played a whole Rush song by now. Yes, mate. We're not up to Dream Theater territory yet, though. Rush have some long songs, everybody. Man, what's the longest song I've ever listened to? Don't know. 30 minutes? 30-minute epic? Anyway, what I was saying was, with the right hand, because it's the leader, and it's why I'm putting all my energy, the left hand has very little to do. And if I try and turn you away, The left hand's doing very little. It's basically just doing a small wrist action, hardly that. It's all fingers, which is probably why my fingers feel a little bit stiff, because they're just like pinching and grabbing. In particular my thumb, because if I try and move my thumb forward, there you go, my thumb is just occasionally squeezing the stick, so it doesn't fly out my hands. Good morning, George. You've caught us drummers in the act, practicing our rudiments. We are at the 14-minute mark, meaning we've done 16 minutes so far of the same exercise. Just think how many calories you're going to burn by doing this. Good morning. Yeah, you know, if you're not getting much exercise, or you feel that only being allowed out once a day isn't enough, then this will absolutely burn some calories. Let's say, remember to keep breathing, everybody. Good to see you having a workout. Yeah, this is a drummer's workout. My feet aren't getting a workout though. My feet are just chilling. I'm in my slippers. Very professional. Never drum in slippers, anybody. So it's just a hand workout. Could do the same with your feet if you're feeling crazy. After 30 seconds I feel exhausted. Yeah, we're going for 30 minutes. Ooh, that's burning. Okay, I'm going to back it off a little bit. Yeah, this is like definitely a test of your own patience as well. But your muscle memory is going to be absolutely epic after 30 minutes. So everyone out there who's never played drums before, now's a fun time to start. You got extra time on your hands, wondering what to do with yourself. You can only enjoy the sunshine for so long before you want to actually do something. So, for all you new drummers out there, or people who've never played, just learning a couple of basic patterns with your hands is one of the best things you can do for yourself. Even before you get behind a drum kit, you can just go and practice a few simple things like right, left, do doubles, right, left, and slow mine off a little bit, give my left hand a little bit of a chance to recover. And of course the paradiddle's a good one for people who've never played drums before, which is right, left. George says, it's like a meditation endurance exercise crossover kind of thing. I'm in a trance. Yeah, that's exactly what I said about 10 minutes ago. It is pure endurance, so you happen to obviously work your, well, you can see I'm working my elbow, forearms, wrists and fingers. But once your muscle memory kicks in, it does become very much like a meditation or a trance state. And I know I'm talking, so that's kind of breaking my opportunity to really focus. I'm only talking to keep you guys entertained for 30 minutes. Sophie, welcome, and I guess Matilda is next to you. So I'm going to slow it right down for you people who've just come in. So the idea is that we're playing a very basic drill for 30 minutes, without stopping ideally, but you stop if you're hurting, of course. So I'm doing this with Matilda, who's one of my younger students. Matilda, what we're doing is we're just taking 6 notes and just playing it for a long period of time. This will be a good test for you youngster. So all we're doing is going right, left, left. Right, left, left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll check back in 5. Does that mean you need the toilet, Ollie? Or you need a drink or a pause? Yeah, so in 5 seconds we're coming to the 20-minute mark. We've been playing for 20 minutes. There we go. And we're into our final third, our final 10 minutes. Cool, we got about 20-30 people watching. Make yourselves known in the comments below, or just say hello to keep us entertained. Because I guess, you know, this could be seen as being a little bit dull. Some exercise can be a little bit dull, like I never find going for a run the most enthralling thing to do. Although it is nice to go out and see some nature, especially where we just moved. There's some lovely places to go for a run. We're very lucky that we're right by some countryside. But you know, if you just like doing like a treadmill or a bike machine, it can be a little bit boring. That's why people obviously do it with music. HKS. Hey guys. HKS. What does your name stand for, my friend? Those initials? And Michael is either laughing at me or is feeling the burn or also needs the toilet. I should have said go to the toilet before we get started. And if you've ever done a gig and you need to go to the toilet within the first song and you know you've got like 45 minutes to play, that's the worst. Because you can't actually get up and move around like a singer or a guitarist. You basically sat trying to hold in a wee. Brilliant. Michael says fire, fire, fire. I'm going to assume that means you're feeling the burn. You know what, if any of you guys have got a Fitbit on, I'd be very interested to see how many calories we're burning. Okay, I'm going to back it off again. Good morning, Nathan. One pattern, 30 minutes. We're going hard. So is anybody feeling any aches so far? I'd be interested to know if you're feeling any aches in your body. I'm getting like a little bit in my shoulders, so I just need to like keep myself breathing, a little bit relaxed. It's probably because I'm looking this way as well, so I'm crunching up my shoulder. I guess if you're looking nice and straight, nice straight back, straight forward, eye level. You can occasionally look at your hands, but I swear that'll put you off if you look down for too long. So yeah, what did you guys do this weekend? What did you do in the sunshine? If you had sunshine, that is. I'm talking about people, I suppose, in England, or especially in the south of England. We had some wonderful weather. I got out into the garden and enjoyed cleaning it up, getting rid of lots of winter build-up. Terry's saying in the forearm. Yes, I'm not surprised. Terry, if you've got a moment, which arm are you feeling, your right or your left? Because we're focusing on the right-hand side at the moment, which is why if I raise my right hand, that shows you that's the leader. So yeah, it'd be interesting to know which hand hurts. My right hand feels really good right now, but that's because I am right-handed. My left hand's beginning to pinch a little bit. Are those things that hold the practice pad up the same as the things that hold the snare? It is. So, Ollie's saying, I'll gesture it with my knee. Basically, the basket that's holding it on the stand, yes, is the same as what you would use for a snare. And I do that because I can pick it up and take it into the garden with me and then sit down in the sunshine and do this kind of thing. But you don't have to have that, you can just put it on whatever surface you like. I also like to angle mine. I like my snare angled slightly away from me. I'll tell you why in a minute. So Terry says it's his right arm feeling the burn. Okay, well that is understandable, because the right hand is very much the leader, and if I turn to you guys better again, my left hand is hardly doing anything, or my left forearm is doing virtually nothing. Oh, we just gone past the 25-minute mark. So we've got 5 minutes left, everybody. Woo! So Terry, if your right arm forearm aches, try to carry on. If it hurts, stop and just give it a quick massage like I was doing at the beginning of the live stream, where I was just basically squeezing my forearm just to promote a little bit of blood flow. Basically telling my body that I'm about to use those muscles. Send blood, send oxygen. Okay, for me, when it gets to like the 2-minute mark, so we've done 28 minutes, I'm going to increase my speed. I'm just going to back off for the minute. Just let my left hand recover a little bit. My thumb's a little bit sore. Well, not really the thumb, but the bit of skin and muscle that's between the thumb and the index finger. Just going to let it recover a little bit. And so for the last 2 minutes, I'm going to ramp up the speed. Sprint finish. Lots of breathing to try and recover. Anyway, yeah, what else did I do this weekend? So we got in the garden a lot. That was really good fun. We painted our bird table and put it up because we recently moved house, so we took everything out of our garden and are gradually installing things into our new garden. So Chloe basically redecorated the bird table, put that up. That's quite nice. I cleared up the garden, just pulling weeds and stuff out, just kind of taking out crap. George says, ready for a cuppa, question mark. Are you asking me that? I am certainly ready for some kind of drink. Probably something that will hydrate me a little better than a cup of tea. But I don't really drink much hot drinks. I'm quite warm most of the time, especially when it's coming into spring and summer, so yeah, I'm more of a cold drink person. Hot chocolate any day though. I definitely have a chocolate addiction. Okay, I'm going to give myself almost like a 30-second cool down, and then I'm going to go hard for 2 minutes. I drink coffee from time to time, but I don't really think I need it. I've got enough energy. Okay, 10 seconds, and I'm going to basically ramp up into a sprint finish. You guys don't have to. Here we go. It's like Mo Farah going for his final couple of laps. He'll gradually increase his speed and probably end in a sprint finish. So yeah, having just slowed right down, my left hand feels like it's reset itself, which is nice. Yeah, there's still some people in the chat. Not many people have given up yet. I realise this isn't the most award-winning live stream you'll ever see. I'm basically hammering in a point to you guys that if you can't do the time, then how can you expect to get good at something? Repetition, or the right kind of repetition, is the way to go on drums. So perfect practice makes perfect. Whatever the saying is. Practice makes perfect is only so good if you're practicing the right kind of thing. Okay, 1 minute left. Definitely flagging, left hand's feeling a bit tense. 20 seconds. Yeah, left hand is wanting to give in. Woo! It's flashing at me, it means something's going on. 3, 2, 1. Whoa. Oh. Congratulations everybody. You've just surpassed your expectations and played a rhythm for 30 minutes, the same rhythm for 30 minutes. Ooh, that left hand's feeling it. Not in a bad way though, it just feels like it's been worked. Just needs to like loosen up a little bit. Whew. How's everybody feeling? Now's the time just to stretch out. Type in your comments below or any questions that you might have. But yeah, that's just to literally demonstrate that 30 minutes of something is very, 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 very good for you. As long as it's not hurting you, of course. So Terry, how does that forearm feel now? Do you feel like you're aching anymore, or is it loosened up straight away as soon as you stopped? Because doing that for 30 minutes, you know, if you're feeling that tension for 30 minutes, it'd be interesting to see how long it takes for it to cool down. Hardest thing was staying focused for 30 minutes without getting bored. It's probably like my own worst enemy is attention span. Although I can apply myself when need to. Was hearing you faster and me playing slower. Yeah, I thought that might be the case. And yeah, I apologise for that. But I had to play along with you guys, didn't I? I could just be like, sit there whipping you for 30 minutes. I had to show that I was doing the same thing. But what you can do, of course, is just put on your own timer and just do this in your own time. Even if you just did this for 10 minutes every day, you would rack up well over an hour of really good quality pad work across a week. So imagine doing that for several years. You're going to have a very, very, very fast set of hands. So Terry says forearm is a little tight. So yeah, as you saw me doing at the beginning of the lesson, I would just do that. I would just pinch them, rotate them slightly. That sort of loosens it up for me. But actually I'm really surprised my right hand feels really good after that. And arguably it has the most work to do. My left hand is now reset. So I'm pretty pumped about that. I haven't injured myself. Shoulders are a little bit tense. I've been just because I was playing this quite hard and also looking sideways, which you wouldn't really do at a gig, would you? You wouldn't constantly be looking to the right hand side as you're pulling off some extreme stuff. Ollie says, Greb or Jojo, are you asking me who my favourite is? Well, everybody has their own like favourite drummers, but it might not be because they're like the best drummer. I'm going to give you like a typical Libra response here, very diplomatic response. I think Benny Greb has a really, really, really fun, almost comedian-like imagination, and it really shows when he plays. So I love watching Benny Greb do drum solos because they're really, really creative. They're very imaginative, massively dynamic. He has his own voice, you know, times 100. But then you could say the same about Jojo Mayer, who arguably has one of the best techniques in the world as a drummer. And he demonstrates that by, in his playing, of course, but he's not a big guy. He's actually skinnier than me, he's shorter than me, thinner than me, but he can play rapid and heavy and all rather effortlessly. So I like them for different reasons, but they're both world-class players. So that's Benny Greb and Jojo Mayer, which are well worth checking out for some inspiration. So Terry says, helps the brain a little, though trying to focus in what I was doing while listening to you too, though. Yeah. Okay, well, you know, of course, doing this on your own, it will allow you to just tune in your own thoughts and allow this to become a little bit of muscle memory. I know that because I was talking and playing, you had a little bit of a distraction there. But then again, it's quite nice to play this kind of stuff over distractions because you should be able to play this rhythm whilst focusing on something else. So I can quite easily read your comments, I can quite easily talk to you on the camera, look around, think about other things whilst playing it. Now, I can't do that with every rudiment, but most of the ones that I prefer, I can do them off by heart now without any problems. So yeah, any other comments, people? Any other questions? Because I've not. Other than that, I will sign off in a moment. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next for my live stream, but of course keep a lookout on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, or any of my other social media to look out for the next post on what we'll be doing. I kind of want to do some stuff on like linear drumming. That would be quite fun to do. Would be quite cool to do another endurance session as well, maybe in like 2 weeks time. We can choose another rudiment and do an endurance one on that. What else could we do? We could talk about creativity. So if you feel a little bit locked out of your own creativity, then maybe I can go through some stuff with you that allows you to start finding your own voice. Any suggestions are warmly welcomed, because I am happy to cover things that you request. Other than that, George, I'm just going to hit my phone so I can see your whole comment there. Bear with me. Back in the day, I had quite a strict practice regime. First 2 hours of a 12-hour session, usually, whoops, just lost that one. Usually spent ringing out notes, tonal variations that became like a mood development, then came in the repetitious work, from whole notes to 16ths up to 150 BPM. Nice. Are you talking about on drums here, or are you talking about on bass? It did hurt. You have to be very careful not to dig in to avoid injury. Yeah. You are hardcore with your regime, fella. You don't see that kind of dedication very frequently anymore, especially in this day and age. So yeah, like if you have a practice routine, you just got to keep listening to your body. And Terry will tell you about this, because Terry does PT and is very, very skilled at this kind of thing. It's his livelihood. So Terry will undoubtedly say to his clients that they do need to get the reps in, or the correct weights and strength reps in, but he would never push them if they're hurting. So it's okay to have rest days. Rest days are really important. You've got to watch out, especially for a drummer, that you don't get things like carpal tunnel syndrome or repetitive strain injury. And the way that you overcome them is just by trying to relax as much as possible. And of course, eating healthy, staying hydrated, like lay off the things that are bad for you, like smoking and drugs and stuff. Just try and be healthy all round. I would recommend following Terry though, if you're into your fitness and PT. So just type in Coach Anderson onto Instagram. I think that's right, isn't it, Terry? And Terry puts out loads and loads of daily posts that sort of encourage you to lead a more healthier lifestyle. I know I read them all and try and adapt to them. So Ollie says, another great stream, thank you. And other Ollie says, could be cool to cover more flam style rudiments. Could do. We could also check out the hybrid flam stuff, because in last week's stream from last Thursday, I did go through all the other flam rudiments in the 40 official rudiments. But I'm absolutely happy to look at hybrid flam rudiments. We could make up 10 of them. I think I've just written a page on this. I'm sort of working on something in the background, which has been slowed down a little bit because of COVID-19. But yeah, I'm working on something in the background, and I've just been writing lots of stuff on flam patterns that you can move around the kit. But of course we could focus it just on the practice pad if that's all you've got. Any other suggestions? Of course you can leave comments or leave messages for me in the future. But yeah, I'll figure something out. We'll have some fun next time I see you guys. We won't do something as strict as a 30-minute repetitious challenge. But you know what? It'd be really cool if you got up and did 10 minutes of this tomorrow. And I'm hoping that tomorrow when you do this for 10 minutes, it will feel easier. Your focus, you won't need to focus as much on the sticking pattern. You'll be able to focus on other things, like how your body's feeling, other things that you happen to be thinking about. Maybe you're thinking about what you're going to eat next, or what you're going to do next, or what's coming up for work. But the idea is to be able to do this so that it becomes muscle memory, okay? And I've got 20 years worth of muscle memory going on in my head. Some of it detrimental, most of it positive. The detrimental stuff, I suppose, could then be called bad habits. But yeah, it gets easier every single day. Trust me, it does. You will not get worse every day. Or if you did get worse, it'd only be like a little blip and you just plateau for a bit and then shoot up again. Anyway, I think that is probably enough. I'm going to leave you guys there. So hopefully you feel good after that. Do more of it later on today or tomorrow morning. And keep a lookout for my next post. if you enjoyed this thing as well, of course you can still donate through my PayPal link, so feel free to leave anything there. Michael says mine is 90% detrimental. Oh, Michael, you got that many bad habits, have you, young man? Well, you know what? Starting at the basics and building up again is the best way to get rid of those habits. Starting really basic stuff and not going too much on autopilot in the initial period. Then, if you're trying to remove bad habits, don't go too much on autopilot. Try and focus on what you're doing, playing slower, but still getting the repetition element in. Anyway, yes, feel free to donate if you enjoyed today's class. Feel free to share this stream as well with anyone who might be interested. And I will see you real soon. All right, I'm going to go and get something to drink. You should too. I'll see you later on. Cheers.